If you want to get a 5% discount off of all your orders at SpeedCubeShop.com, make sure to use the discount code Antonie.
Methodology for the 2x2 Rubik's Cube has been getting crazier and crazier lately. Top 2x2 solvers have been learning the most obscure methods and algorithms, practicing for over hundreds of hours just to improve a fraction of a second when certain types of scrambles show up.
There was a pre-made TCL, and it's a very good TCL.
You can do 2 moves into this LS case, and you can actually cancel into it, so this actually wouldn't be too bad.
Doing LS 2.
Or I saw in green there was a pre-made TEG one. I saw in red there was a nice pre-made EG1 LS.
On white and yellow there was a pre-made CBL case.
I saw there was a pre-made TCBL on red and orange.
You thought that was crazy? A new revolution is just getting started. Something crazier than anything we've ever seen. Something that will make 2x2 be the first event to be solved. And that revolution is called OO. But not so fast. Let's take a step back for a moment. The 2x2x2 Rubik's Cube has over 3,674,160 different ways it can be scrambled. This is a big number. However, one important thing to note is that many of these scrambles are not actually different. They can be solved using the same moves. Just to give an example, these two scrambles are actually exactly the same state because they can be solved with the same moves. However, they would count as 2 different scrambles, and for most scrambles, there's 24 equivalent scrambles. And though I just showed you an example with a J-perm, this is actually applicable to scrambles of any type. These 2 scrambles are also equivalent. If instead of looking at all individual scrambles, we look at all unique states by accounting for symmetries, this number drops down by a lot. However, this number was not known until recently because some scrambles have more symmetries than others, and you cannot simply divide the amount of total scrambles by 24 because that just doesn't work. However, the number was discovered thanks to 2 cubers from Spain, Alvaro and Andres Rodriguez, who found the curiosity and the effort to calculate this. The number they found was 154,608 individual distinct states. Okay, we got the number of unique states. Yay. So what now? An idea that has been going around in the 2x2 solvers community is OO, which stands for objectively optimal. The idea is that for each unique 2x2 state, there is a solution that is objectively optimal and objectively better than any other solution for that state. However, when we say OO, objectively optimal, we are not referring to the optimal solve in terms of move count. That is easy to find, and we have found that for all possible scrambles. Instead, the goal is to find the optimal solution in terms of speed. See, a solution can have few moves, but not be fingertrick friendly and therefore be slower. And that's of no use to us. Top 2x2 solvers are finding OO solutions for bad scrambles and just try to remember them as if it was an algorithm. In some extreme cases, when finding an OO solution is hard to do intuitively, OO solutions have been generated for scrambles as if the scramble was an algorithm of a method. We have concluded 3 main terms for what constitutes an OO solution. The first rule is there must be no rotations. Rotations can be avoided and they just lose you time, so no solves, no OO solutions with rotations are acceptable as an OO solution. Secondly, the solution needs to be executable in under 1 second using conventional WCA regulations on timer usage. This refers to legal timer starts, legal timer stops, and of course, not everyone will be able to execute any solution sub 1, but if nobody can execute it sub 1, then that's definitely not OO, because the hypothesis is that every scramble is possible to be done sub 1. The third and last point is that there needs to be a strong suspicion that there is no different solution or a different angle for the same solution that is faster. Obviously, if there's, for instance, a 4-mover that you use an 8-move solution on, it might still be able to be done sub 1 and meet the other criteria of no rotation. However, there is clearly a much better solution, which is the 4-mover. So in that case, the 8-mover would not be accepted as OO. The point is that an effort can be made to find OO solutions for as many unique 2x2 states as possible. And if we dare to dream big enough, we can find them for all of the states. Remember Alvaro and Andres? They have made this quest a whole lot easier. They set up a website that serves exactly the purpose of finding OO solutions. On this website, you can search for any unique 2x2 state, all 154,608 of them. To use this website is very simple. You can look for individual states either by searching by the scramble for that state or by a solution you've already found for that state using the two search bars on the top of the website. Furthermore, the website also has some options in which you can search for scrambles that include or exclude certain pre-made parts. This is not just limited to methods, for which you have a wide array of methods you can choose to either include or exclude on the specific state you're looking for. But you can also choose from bars like diagonal bars, adjacent bars, or full bars, or diagonals. Lastly, there's an option called IF, which stands for Insert and Finish. And what you can do there is you can type a string of moves and then choose either CLL, EG1, or EG2. And then once you submit the query, what that will give you is it will give you all the states where from a particular angle, you can execute the moves you put in, and you will then have either a pre-made CLL or a pre-made EG1 or a pre-made EG2, depending on the one you chose. And then there are some other options that might help you out when filtering for specific cases, such as moves, where you can select what the optimal move count should be of the states that you're looking for, or whether those states that you're looking for already have an OO alg for them or not. The thing about the submission is that once you have found the corresponding state on the website, you don't need to input rotations that you normally would before the solution. The website automatically deals with that. Once you submit an OO candidate, it awaits approval as an OO solve. And once the approval is granted, it gets added to the website. Woohoo! It's time to party now. We are 0.0006% closer to completing OO. 154,000. That's the amount of states that there are. That's the amount of OO solutions that are needed. And though that is a lot less than 3.6 million, which is the total amount of scrambles, 154,000 states is still way too much for the 5, just 5 committed cubers that we are right now to getting full OO. And this is where I want you guys to come in. The community, the cubing community, and specifically the 2x2 solvers community. The people that have invested hundreds of hours and years of their life, just as myself, into this event and to improving it, working on hardware, working on methodology and general improvement. It's time that we go from solving a 2x2 alone in our room to coming together as a community to solve 2x2 as an event. Because once OO is completed, 2x2 as an event will be solved. And as somebody who deeply cares about the event, I think that would be very cool. I'm counting on you guys. 2x2 Addict out.